Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live broadcast. Just getting rid of the shadows. Hopefully, you can hear me and see me okay. We did have some broadcast video issues yesterday, but I think we have resolved that now. So you should be seeing me clearly. If someone could confirm that you can hear me, that would be really, really helpful. Just before we begin, we will be starting shortly. Just check that we have all set up here, which is rather good. Okay. Apologies. I think again we're having some technical issues. Okay. Let me just see if you're connected back here again. Okay. No, it's okay. Okay. Apologies. Apologies. This is so annoying. Okay. Hopefully we'll get all of you back. Okay. I'll just wait a moment for someone else to connect. Hello, Karanesh. Namaste. Good to see you here. Okay, we just had some technical issues, so we're hoping those people are able to connect back. Sadly, I think we might have lost some of them. Okay, let's carry on. So what I was basically saying is this sense of belonging comes from that foundation within. Now, also, as you evolve spiritually, you are naturally more connected with everything around you. So you have this feeling of oneness naturally and spontaneously wherever you are. So you can look at a beautiful flower or a plant, like the one behind me, and just identify the divineness of the plant, you know, the nature that's flowing through its leaves and its roots, etc., that allows it to be as it is in its beautiful expression. So this is what belonging is all about. Now, in the sense of putting down our foundation, as we begin to really put down this foundation, certain other aspects of our life may be ejected. And I have said this week in a few of the talks, that as soon as you reach beyond the conscious mind, bypass the subconscious mind, which our practices allow you to do, and enter that superconscious self, that universal divine layer that is at the core of our personality, our being. The moment you start awakening those energies, everything will change in your life. Everything will change for sure. But in the process of change, there will be correction. So, someone who you may have had a relationship with for months, years, days, etc. Someone could be your absolutely closest friend. And then, after meditating, you don't feel so attracted to that person. And why? It's simply because your values are now changing. They're not based on conditioning, as we spoke about yesterday. They're so much more real, and you being or discovering your real self. So you find the other person now slightly irritant, annoying, not always, or you just may not feel so bonded with that person anymore. Now you might think this, that could be a bit negative. Yes, I suppose the experience of it is a little bit negative when you realize that that friend is not as close to you as you thought they were. It could have been that you had emotional dependency on that person. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't see beyond that. And now you don't have that emotional dependency on someone. You're seeing them in a different vein. It could be too, they had emotional dependency on you, etc. And now you feel stronger. You may obviously interact with them in a different way.
Excuse me. So the important thing is that we have to flow with those changes. We have to ensure that we follow that intuitive sense that's coming from within, that's making those connections, making those corrections. It's like sometimes certain food that we may have eaten, sorry about this, certain food we may have eaten that we found extremely attractive is no longer attractive to us. We, crave that food, but now we have no craving for it whenever. We have no craving for it whatsoever. Let me just turn this off. Sorry. We have no craving for this whatsoever. And that's fine. That's fine. That is this integration basically telling you that this food that you've been eating is no longer good for you or as good for you as it was before. Now, stress levels can affect how we ingest micro and macronutrients. So there might be something in this food that is no longer conducive, will actually push your system out of balance. Because remember, once we hit those energies, they're always going to bring balance. And anything else that is not within balance will essentially be ejected from our system. So it could be we've been in the same job for a long time. We no longer feel connected with the job. It's time to move on. And that happens in life anyway. But these experiences are often common for meditators after they start learning to meditate. So, finding our foundation is in principle extremely easy, and the tools we give you will help you connect there instantly. And after a short period of time, you will begin to see the benefits from that without doubt. But we need to go on, and we need to go on. We need to keep practicing for us to have a more profound experience. Because what we're actually doing here is we're refining ourselves. So when we live at a grosser level, okay, we are then slowly through our unfoldment becoming finer and lighter and lighter and lighter. That is so important because that is a form of personal purification, physically, mentally, and obviously bringing that spiritual force ahead so that we can raise our level of consciousness. When we raise our level of consciousness, we automatically feel connected with everything around us. Everything we look at, we feel some connection. And this gives you such a wonderful sense of belonging. Now, one of the sad things in our modern day world is the huge amount of loneliness that people experience. So much loneliness. And often this is a mental state within a person where the person has disconnected from those feelings of belonging, from those connections that they had perhaps previously. And this is often because of the experiences they've had in the past. Maybe it's hurt, rejection, difficulty. Maybe the person is irritable and they find other people extremely irritable and they've never been able to overcome their own irritability and anger. Therefore, we come somewhat an island to ourselves that finds it difficult to integrate with society. And we want to be able to do that, even if you want to be solemn. That still doesn't mean that you're not belonging or connected. Yeah, we all want solemn moments where we're just on our own. We don't need company. and we enjoy that quiet and silence. It can be a form of restoration, a form of rest, of healing, or whatever we want to call it. Okay, so that can come, and then we can have the choice to be solemn or to be sociable. It's entirely up to us. But essentially, we want to take that journey. We want to transit ourselves from feeling lonely to feeling connected. Because when you do feel connected to your environment, to your social groups, to your family or whoever, you will never experience loneliness. I know so many people have said to me, I'm in a big crowd of people, but I still feel lonely. Why? Simply, we have lost that connection. Why have we lost that connection? Because of various patternings within the mind. We have thrown barriers up. You know, when we're hurt, say we have a difficult relationship, when we're hurt, we naturally throw up a barrier to stop that hurt, to protect ourselves. It's almost like an internal survival mechanism. And that's fine. That's fine. We do need that perhaps at that point. But if that continues and we have that fear of hurt, emotional pain, then this is directly going to affect all relationships that we have, whether that's close relationships, family, work, colleagues, social relationships, etc. That barrier will always be there. And anyone comes to you, that barrier will naturally go up because we have put it there in the sense that we feel we need protection. So the moment we are stronger by standing on this firm foundation, and we have resolved some of those conflicts within the mind, which greater clarity and a raise in our consciousness brings, we will then not feel disconnected. We will feel connected in any situation. And this is a truly wonderful thing. You can have that solemnness, you can have that quietness, you can be as such disconnected from society in a physical or social sense, but you are still spiritually connected, you're still emotionally connected, etc. But those emotions are not dominated by that perhaps negativity, by that fear, by that hurt that is from within. So that's really what we need to do. It's so easy to do. It's so wonderful to belong and just feel you're at home wherever you are. That's how we're meant to be. That is our natural state of connectivity with, everyone around us. I'm just going to put a caption up basically to remind people that they can ask questions to post in the chat. I'm very happy to answer them, so please feel free to do that. Obviously, if you're on a social channel, if you like what you're hearing and maybe you're here for the first time, please subscribe or like my channel. And if you're on YouTube, obviously subscribe and hit the update bell to be automatically updated. Okay, so let's just remove that again. So I don't think there's any questions, so I will just carry on this subject. So that unhappiness or feeling disconnected and not belonging pushes us often into a state of anxiety, of depression for a lot of people. That can be the first stages of depression, that we feel disconnected from people around us and we lack the ability without help to make that reconnection around us. So really the key here, to repeat again, is that we, through spiritual unfoldment, and we use the tool of meditation to spiritually unfold ourselves, is the greatest tool to enable us to belong, to feel connected with the world around us. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for my students. I don't want you to feel that either you're lonely or that you're in some way disconnected from people around you. Now, when you obviously unfold or develop these qualities, you can choose to be disconnected with certain groups. It sounds like a contradiction. You could decide to be disconnected within certain social groups, but that doesn't mean that you do not belong or feel that you belong. You've just chosen to have a break, perhaps, or not join this social group again. That is a disconnection of sorts, but if you were to walk back into that group tomorrow, again, you would feel totally connected. So that's, again, an important point. You have the choice, but you need to stand on that firm foundation first. And that is man's greatest quest, because involved in that is knowing ourselves, understanding ourselves, and realizing ourselves. What I find very sad is people do not realize how great they really are, what great abilities they have, what great compassion and empathy and love they have. But with greater self-understanding and objectivity, we're able to see ourselves and our motivations more clearly. So yes, we can be motivated for certain relationships, for certain social groups. We're motivated perhaps by need, that we need to be liked, we need to have social ability, we need to have contact. These are all needs, and what we want to do is go beyond those needs, to the point where we feel stable and strong within ourselves, that nothing, absolutely nothing from an exterior source can give us that strength or stability. We find it within ourselves. And like the analogy of the coconut tree, we can bend with the wind, but we are never thrown off our foundation. So that's really what is so important about this talk. We are going to wrap it up now as we've covered the subject in hand. There will be some more of these talks next week, so please do join us. I do apologise for the beginning interruption of the video, but it seems to be working okay now. So hopefully it will also be next week. So thank you very much for joining us, and namaste, and hope to see you soon.